Rose is much appreciated for its beauty, but it's not well known as an edible plant. Today, I'm going to experiment with ways to eat rose petals. All varieties of roses are edible, but the flavor can vary. This is a kind of wild rose cultivated in this garden. The most common way to use rose petals is to make an herbal tea with them. So rose petals have a soothing and cooling effect on the body. They have antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and astringent actions. Rose is considered a gentle nervine that can help calm and comfort you. I'm making straight up rose petal tea, but I also want to mention some other great tea combos. So I really love Tulsi rose tea, so just Tulsi leaves with rose petals. And then kind of like a garden flower tea, so with chamomile, rose petals, and lavender. It's quite lovely. I kind of wished I had used a darker pink or red rose, because then the tea would have been a really pretty pinkish red, but nonetheless, this tea made with lighter petals also tastes great. Another easy way to prepare rose petals is to make a rose syrup. So first you make a really strong rose tea out of fresh or dried petals. Then you add equal parts sugar. So for example, I have about 1/2 cup of tea, so I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sugar to that for a 1-to-1 ratio. Then I'm just going to put it back on low heat and stir thoroughly to dissolve the sugar. And then you have a syrup, and you can use it in many different ways. So you could use it to flavor teas, you could make a rose latte, or drizzle it on a dessert. Maybe I could host a dinner party and come up with a cool rose syrup cocktail to impress my friends. But I'm not doing that today, so instead I'm taking some plain sparkling water and adding a few spoonfuls of the syrup to make a very unique rose soda. This one is going a little out there, but I'm here to test the limit on what we can do with rose petals. So it's time to attempt a rose petal jam. First, I bring some water to a boil, and then I'm going to turn off the heat and add in the fresh rose petals I just harvested. You could also use dried petals. Now I'm adding in powdered pectin. Pectin is really important to thicken the jam and make it gel. I want to make sure this is completely dissolved before I add in the sugar. But before that, I'm going to add in lemon juice. Mostly this is to help retain the beautiful red color, but it also helps preserve and flavor it. Finally, I'm adding in the sugar and stirring to completely dissolve it. Fortunately, it was gelling really well. Some people have a hard time getting their jams and jellies to gel, but like I said, just make sure that pectin is completely dissolved first before you add in your sugar. So I ended up with a really good consistency for a jam to spread on toast. My mind has been open to all the possibilities of making fun, edible things with flowers, roses especially. Like, what if I made a rose cake and it had rose water frosting with a layer of rose jam decorated with candied rose petals? That might be going overboard, because you can overpower a dish with floral flavors, but still, it's been a really fun, creative experience to make recipes with roses, and I hope that you'll try to make something with edible flowers too.